Welcome to Prajavahini, and this is Archana Swami. Today we are at Padukon Dravid Center for Sports Excellence. Being an athlete takes dedication, patience and consistent commitment. Physical fitness is not only an important aspect but also helps an individual build discipline, character, resilience while making one accountable and confident. Here at Boca Juniors, the team is on mission in training athletes to be professional footballers. Young athletes are largely inspired to pick this sport because of the world-class training and infrastructure. Today we have Daryl D'Souza, the Technical Director at Boca Juniors and also the All India Football Federation Coach Instructor and the only FIFA graduate in India, taking us through their training modules, facilities at the Academy of Boca and how they are crafting the future of football in India one player at a time. Let's welcome Daryl D'Souza. Sir, it's an honor to have you on our show. Let's quickly jump into the questions. Sports is an integral part for any child's growth. And in India, we see that it's not supported well. What do you have to say about that?
Decades back, yes, sports was not considered as an option for parents, for surrounding in India because everything was based on academics and more weightage was given on academics. But as you've seen, as we are progressing towards now and you see the current scenario, sports is a lot of emphasis is there on it. Okay, a different type of sports, but we are talking here about football, and I know what football has done a revolution not only across the world but the big sea change in Indian football also, and that's making parents more confident that their ward can make a career and can be a good option besides academics.
Truly, today football is definitely grabbing a lot of young athletes' attention. So what does it take for an amateur to become a professional footballer?
First of all, from amateur to professional football, I would say it's not an easy journey because we view our players, they view our idols like top players in the world football, but there's a lot of things behind the curtain which we have to understand, like the hard work, the dedication, the effort, the extra hours you put in. Not only depends on the field, but off the field, like your nutrition, hydration and sleep. So it's a cycle. So I think besides training, you have to be different from others, and that age can reach you to the optimum level, which makes you from amateur to professional level.
So what kind of trainings are happening right now with Boca? Of course, as you said, nutrition and their sleep, all the aspects that needs to be covered will be taken care of, but what kind of trainings is Boca offering right now?
At Boca, we have array of variety catering to all age group. Like we have our academy spread across to the length and breadth of Bangalore, where a lot of emphasis is given, and academies are with our U6, U8, U10, where we focus on grassroots football. Then we have our excellence program. We again have our U12, U14, and it's training 4 days a week, including a match day, again at two places, North and South Bangalore. And then we have an elite program, like it's a residential program. We call it IFEP, International Football Excellence Program. Now that's a full holistic program.
It is one of its kind in Bangalore for sure.
Yeah, we do things differently. There are a lot of details, like I'll answer your question, like how do we think, make players think, how do we train, the way we train, the way we play. So what does our training consist of? I would say proper match related sessions for them, where players decision making. We make players to think. We don't tell them like you do this, you do that, but let the player understand what it is, why are you doing that. Okay, then situations on physical endurance, on their psychological, so how to deal with the stresses of the game. Psychological, very important. We in Boca we look after that also. Match analysis, how you play the match, how a match to be reviewed at, not from a spectator's point of view, but from a player's point of view. Okay, and then the technical and definitely the tactical part. As you say, the game strategies, different formations to adopt, recovery after a match, focusing on nutrition, hydration, rest. So it's a complete holistic program where strength and conditioning, and everything is taken care at the residential. So I think we are at par at the international level, and I can say that with confidence. The way our residential players are playing football is speaking volumes for itself.
That's wonderful to know. But how do you train the athlete mindset in an amateur?
So we have players from different part of the country at our International Football Excellence Program. Here at CSC we train. We have a rigid schedule. We have morning session 6 to 7. So players be on the field by 5:45 a.m. So that shows their dedication and love for the game. Then we have evening session also. And then they have to balance the academics in between, do their school projects, and then even keep their mindset. So now from amateur level, to cope up with that is how mentally you are prepared with that. And we have every week, okay, for them specially designed psychological sessions. Besides that, on ground, my coaches, myself, being as a technical director also, I involve myself because each player is different from another and you cannot compare them. So each person needs different time attention. So that's how we try to understand the player, and according to his strength and weaknesses, we find to give them solutions and give them ownership so that they later can find solutions on the pitch and don't depend on us, but more believe in themselves and try to progress further.
That's amazing to know. So once the player is on field, physical and mental capabilities are definitely sharpened. Do you think that also reflects in translating into their life?
Of course, football is such a beautiful game, it is called, and football itself teach you about a lot of life lessons. When you are a goal down, how you come back, do you give up, are you resilient, okay, if you are too up, if you are complacent in life, if you don't do with that lead, then how the opponent can take advantage and cannot give you to settle in the game. So football teaches you a lot of. Football teaches you how to come back from injuries. You go for an injury, you are demotivated, you are out for weeks, months. So the game is so beautiful that it teaches you to be patient, you know. So these have all the elements of the game where it can make you ready to face life.
That's amazing. So it strengthens the player inside out.
Mentally and physically.
Great.
And at Boca, the mental aspect is also very much highlighted besides the physical and the technical and tactical part.
So picking up a sport for any child would be a greatest gift they could give themselves. What's the kind of exposure while you're playing sport can be possible?
Talking about football, we have different phases in football. We have to understand that first. When we talk about fun phase, that is coming into grassroots, okay, and then we have a foundation phase. Fun phase, the foundation phase, where the basics, the nuances, the elements of the game you have to master. Then we go to the youth phase, the 13 plus to the 15. Then we introduce to you tactics. Then physically, endurance, everything is slowly added to that. And then finally, you have to be ready to play at the optimum level, and it's the final phase, 16 to 19, for becoming or pursuing elite or professional football. So these phases are a step where we should not skip and jump, and parents should make it clear. I would leave a message here as well that we have to be patient, because in football I have seen my players have also playing for the Indian team, okay, and playing for clubs also in ISL. I've been experienced for last 15 years in their development. What I would say is there are early achievers in football and there are late bloomers. So let's not compare, give them their own time and they will do them.
That's great. So the grassroots levels, the foundation you are laying currently is going to produce a lot more footballers in the current coming years. And what is that takes from a student? Yes, of course, a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication towards the game. But how strong they need to be physically and mentally? Are Indian bodies meant to compete world-class football?
True. It's been a debate since a decade long and still going, why India cannot be on a World Cup, and it's not me, as your question is relevant also, and we have to answer since we are professional in football. It's the bodies are secondary, it's the mentality. Are you thinking yourself inferior, or are the coaches making player to think themselves inferior, or are we infusing in them to think that you are not less than anybody to compete? Secondly, we have to be well in our country and in Asia to dominate first, and then we can talk about it, World Cup and all other things. We have to have realistic goals. Okay, and again, as you said, absolutely, the emphasis are given on other things and not on mentality. And as you progress and as the game becomes more and more complex, okay, the demands of the game are more challenging, and then the players burns out, and then you lose out to be floating in the game, to challenge your opponents at the highest level, at international level, and then this area becomes the deficiency and where they collapse. So if this is inculcated at an early age with fun, like grassroots, youth, teaching them more technicality, slowly building on tactics, making them psychology to deal with losses, with wins, slowly I think there should be a proper step to understand all the parameters of the game, where a child is not under pressure, but from every step, all the specific components of the game are addressed to him and taught to him in a precise, systematic manner. That's what we are doing at Boca.
Oh, great. Okay. But Indian parenting somehow is more on educational qualifications rather than picking up any sport. So at Boca, how are you trying to balance that aspect of having the education going hand in hand along with pursuing professional sport?
First of all, at Boca's also, I would like to say here, give my credit to all the parents as well of Boca for their wonderful support, that they believe in our coaches, in the way we play. Every time you cannot win, in football, it might be the best team in the world, but parents always behind their child and with coaches. And that is very important, that they understand about academics and how the child is coping up. Maybe not to overburden with stress, but yes, now parents are opening up to idea that football is a global sport, and yes, football can be pursued as a career because they have seen the type of remuneration is being offered in the game of football comparatively to I-League, ISL, and young players can make a very glamorous career in the game. Unless you are good, parents are investing, traveling 2 hours to Boca, 1.5 hours to Boca to CSC, and I respect their time. And that shows their commitment from parents towards their child, and that gives us immense confidence.
That's truly commendable.
And we clap with 2 hands. Parents shows their commitment for the child. We are a team. For the center of process is our player, our athlete, for whom it is. And as I said, we are looking for a bright future, and our aim at Boca, my aim specially, I spoke to Mr. Sunanda sir, here is to make a sea change, at least to see our Boca players in the national Indian team, and also on merit to make it maybe to Boca.
So pursuing about her career in sports is definitely a long-fetched one. So what are the options, the adaptations or the sacrifices one needs to go through in the process of becoming a professional?
It's a important question where some players are compromising things in football and they want easy success. But if you don't respect the game and don't respect time, the time doesn't respect you. So same in the game, as I said, how focused are you? How switched on are you during training sessions? Because training is the mirror of the match. You switched off at training, you can't play in the match. The training hours are very important because you have to sync with the team. You have to bond with the team because football is not an individual sport. It's a team sport. So those commitment, those dedication, those reception to take information from coaches during that time and execute the player's decision making is very important. So these are very prior for player from average to elite profession.
I think that's what the difference you're making by the residential team also, who by training mornings and evenings, like the commitment towards the game definitely sharpens. So what do you say that options are available once they are out of the academy? Yes, not everybody are going to the national team, not everybody are going to be signed up by a club. So what are the options you see or you tell the students when they are going out of Boca?
So first of all, we should understand that thousands might play youth football grassroots, play maybe amateur football or youth football. But can thousands make it to professional level? No, there will be few, those who will make it. And that will be a difference between how they are conducting themselves and how dedicated and passionate they are had to be seen on the pitch. But what about others? Will they give up? No. I would say to your question, my answer would be there are avenues like you can pursue to become management in football. You can pursue your career as a coach in football. You can be a referee in football. You can become a match commissioner. You can become a CEO who can run football. And education, I'm not neglecting, education can give you that foundation now. Okay, a base where your love for the game and your education combining can make your career, where you will do what you love in your career and be with the game. May not be professional, some will be, but again
Exceptionally
you are in football.
well ones will pick the sport, and the other ones we always have the option to stay on the ground but doing the other aspects of
avenues,
it.
still in the game.
Okay, okay.
So football is diversified. There are a lot of avenues and lot of demand also for good management, good coaches, and yeah. So that's a good career option as well. Not to worry about.
Okay, so you still give all these options to your athletes that if not a professional footballer, you still have these options to go.
Definitely, we have a U17 senior group here, matured boys. They always ask us, coach, what option do I pursue? I'll do my science, I'll do my PU in commerce, and then I want to do in management. I want to be in football. I want to get a degree in sports management. They ask me, we guide them, of course, and that means they think also, and it's good sign that they have a goal to pursue. Yes, we'll be a professional, but we have a management degree. We'll be a professional, and some boys, coach, I would pursue to be a coach like you. I said, now focus on the game. We'll see it later. But yeah, they are thinking.
But currently, you train them to be having that professional mindset to play professional football.
Yeah, they can be engineers, they can be doctors, they can be lawyers, they can be CEO, chartered CAs, absolutely, and still play football, professional, nothing like that. But yes, there are avenues where they come to us or parents ask us during, we have parents meeting in Boca twice a year. We have our proper assessment reports for them. All tests have been conducted on players, and that time those parents raised those similar questions. He wants to do only in football his career, not other domain. How? And that's what we tell.
But you always make sure, tell the parents and the athletes to have a balance between education and
Of
sport.
course, I would never sideline education and academics. It's always good because we want you, tomorrow you sign a club and you don't know to read the contract paper. And you just look at them and sign. You don't know what is your clause, whether you agree or not agree. And then you sit in a press conference as a team captain, you can't speak. And then it boils down to your education. So it's all.
So realistically, what has been your observing about the past few years? And ideally, where do you see India in few years on the world football map?
I'm here with Boca now, and definitely year and a half season. Last season it was good to come, and my aim and good discussion and Mr. Sunanda's vision that we spoke in Goa and made me decision to come here was his vision for having this residential academy. And what is the goal? What is the objective? Is for me, I told Mr. Sunanda, is to get this Boca player to play to the national team. Because we might play in Bangalore, we might play playing each other, but where is the goal? Where is the growth? In previous thing where I was in Goa, my previous responsibility, my 4 players were there in the national Indian team. Before that, now 1 player is there in ISL also, and and it's good to see. That is what we have to train. We have to have the mentality to float at the international level, not to play at the domestic level. And that is what mentality I have brought in Boca. That is what the philosophy I have put in coach's head. That is, I have created a plan in Boca where we want an optimum growth where players can sustain for that. And coming to point of Indian football, definitely now the thing is looking good, and definitely we have to replace our top performing players who are shouldering responsibilities at the Indian level, whether in striker and defense, and these players should take responsibility. To play at the international level, you can't sustain unless you have a strong base.
True.
You know, this base is very important for you to take the pressure when you play countries like Japan, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, okay, Lebanon and all. I'm talking about Asia first. And then you play with youth, you represent India in the youth phase, under 15, under 16, and then you go.
But that also needs a lot of support from experienced coaches like you, the infrastructure like what a football academy can give at world-class infrastructure. So all these put together, you can provide that for a young athlete to aspire to be a professional. Otherwise, it's not possible. If you are the only male coach in the Asian region and India specifically, to have this exposure and experience, and that translates into your trainings. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's set up my base. AFC Project Future Coach Indian. Yeah, that gave me an exposure in my coach education for 3 years in Asia, being with AFC in Malaysia, and then they sent me to Germany to work with, to learn the nuances with Borussia Dortmund. Had the opportunity to work with Jurgen Klopp, players like Lewandowski, Gundogan, and Mario Götze, who scored the World Cup winning goal for Germany. It was a dream come true for an Indian, but that all is my education. And with that education, now how I can put it, how I can educate my coaches, my players. And that what, with Mr. Sunanda sir, his backing, his influence, and he's leaving no stone unturned. All the best facilities, no compromise. So with that support of his, last season, our U14 residential won the Karnataka State Football League. Wow. To start with the residential, and that shows that we are on a right track, and the way our U17 plays also. And we are still working, but again I tell parents, be patient with us. It's football. Take 3 years, take 5 years. That's it.
It's not an overnight success. Of course, a years of dedication shows that overnight success. So obviously, what do you have to say about your upcoming teams, like the under 12, under 14 or under 17, whatever you're training? Where do you see your students, your athletes?
Definitely, they are trying to soak into the philosophy and style of play of Boca. As I said, residential are getting a more hang of it because they are morning, evening. They are getting more sessions. Excellence also, we are telling boys not to miss sessions, so they get the maximum output from training sessions. And U12, yes, they are our future as well.
So is it the same training for them, like the strength or conditioning training, or the mobility or the agility, whatever trainings you give? What is the schedule planned like?
Definitely, each age group, depending training varies on the age and agility. We cannot give an endurance training for a U12, which we does with U17. We cannot do that training with the where more load is involved with the U17. So U12, more technique, mastery with the ball, player confidence, tactics to understand, because they are new for 11v11 football. But 17 have gone in the phases of more than 3 seasons now. So what U12 we focus on is different on U17. Everything is tailor-made.
Got it.
Comparatively to U12, U14, U17 and U10, not to forget, and U8. Let me tell you and touch on that. Once a month, besides our weekend sessions, we have a match day for our U8 and U10s exclusively, where all Boca centers come at one venue and play football. So that much dedication and emphasis we put on a U10. So the base is stronger, and we have besides more homegrown players also.
Lovely. So when you're training your athletes, will it be specifically defined for a short-term goal or a long-term goal, or the league that's coming up, or is it only for that player's consistent growth?
It's a very good question. For player at Boca, we have a long-term player development. We want players from Boca who are coming at the age of 6 and 7 to have a long holistic plan for them. Now the question would be, what is the long-term plan? And the long-term would be a base for them. When they play U8, we'll play in the KSFA league, give them exposure. U10 again, U12, U14, and then U17 we come, and then what do? We have a tie-up, and Mr. Sunanda made it possible. We have a direct tie-up with Levante, UD. That's a La Liga, top professional team in Spain, who rub shoulders with Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Villarreal, Celta Vigo, and top teams. You know, and that's a huge bonus for us. for our players. And already one player has already gone there to get an exposure and training from Boca. His name is Humaid. He's been with us and he's gone there for 3 months, for 12 weeks. He should be back. And then also second option we have, as Mr. Sunanda doesn't want our players after 17 to just be like idle, and some avenue would be playing like adults category in a C division KSFA league. So there's domestic, there is international. Besides that, we have a tie-up with Spanish second division teams also abroad. Okay, and there's a lot of avenues for players also, and where player can explore themselves. Some can be on potential, can make it to Levante. Some can have an exposure to learn the nuances at the highest level in Spain, what is happening at European level, and come back and see how we are doing things and how they are doing things there. Yeah, that should be
In fact,
good
Asian
enough.
countries and mostly in India, the problem is that we are not able to encash the talent of a professional post 17 because of the whatever strength you need for an Indian team or the clubs that are there right now. Still, there's a lot of growth happening, but I think having the tie-ups are definitely going to help a lot of athletes to pursue their undergrads and the professional sports too. So, is there an option where they can continue their education along with playing sport, or they need to sign up with a club and just go and play professional football?
No, there are a lot of options now, because as you are 17 and 18, even an individual or parent will emphasize on studies also. And there are a lot of players and there are a lot of leagues where players side by side have to balance. You know, it's not that you shut the door for your education and you open the door only for football. I would not recommend that. But there are avenues where it has to be balanced, because in the past my players who were with there in Goa also had done the same. They were getting 80%, 85%, okay, and still playing at that club and have selected for national level also. So there's no excuse for that. If they have done, you all should also do
Anything
it.
can be possible.
It is possible also. And then it gives less pressure on parents as well, because now you all do, because this is taken care of, education.
True, true. So, what is the message you want to give the young athletes, young footballers, or any athlete who wants to pursue sports as their career?
Message to athletes and parents would be, first of all, get your kid or your son or your ward or your daughter involved with a right type of training, because right type of training I'm saying we do at Boca is because how the game is played, the training is done in the same way. Each age group has to be categorized and understood, okay, because if the foundation is not laid correctly, you will fumble at the highest level. So at Boca we focus at foundation and we don't compromise that, and that's what due importance is given. So you love the game, get serious, put on hard work, but have fun also at this age group. But we are there to help you at Boca. Most welcome, and yeah, enjoy the game.
Hopefully, this conversation helps many parents or the young athletes who want to pick a sport, not for the physical aspect of it or just for passion of it, but an overall development of that particular child. Enhance by watching the video, and let this information reach many more people and help them inspire to pick their sport. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. De Reluzosa. Thank you for all information you have given us.
Most welcome, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.